Hi there. I'm working on the third grade new grammar book that's going to be coming out this summer, 2026. And I am not done with the book yet. It is in draft mode, but I wanted to take you behind the scenes and kind of show you my vision and what this book is going to be about. And I wanted to show you some of the pages that are in the book. Like I said, is completely in draft mode. You're going to notice that the page numbers haven't been done yet. I haven't, checked it over yet, but I want to show you right while I'm in the middle of it to show you what is going to be coming out this summer. So I am coming out with third grade as well as fourth grade and fifth grade. And so the idea behind this, I'm going to show you the pacing guide. Sorry if this is a little bit small on your screen, but basically, the first 9 weeks, what I'm suggesting is to use this grammar book. What I noticed is I have these other workbooks that are really top sellers, revising and editing, very similar to what you're going to see on the STAAR test, very aligned to the TEKS as far as typical revising and editing questions. But what I noticed teachers were missing and what was really lacking in the curriculum across the state of Texas, I've heard this over and over and over, loud and clear, is how to teach the revising and editing. That's what's missing. So, this book is basically going to solve that problem of giving teachers a guide of how to teach these revising and editing TEKS. So, first semester, what you're looking at on the screen right now, this would be the first half of the year. And so you would use the grammar book the first half of the year. Okay. So it tells you mixing one of the grammar TEKS, one of the editing TEKS, breaking that into a bite sized skill, and then adding that to spelling. It's best to mix in the spelling when you're teaching that phonics lesson in reading. But I went ahead and did a pacing guide to give you a recommended guide of how you could mix in the spelling, or you can follow your district curriculum as far as the pacing. So this would take you all the way to basically compound sentences by December. Now you're going to notice I did add in 2 advanced lessons right before the end of the calendar year, which are advanced skills. So I added in complex sentences and quotation marks. Even though this is not technically a third grade TEK, I'm calling it an advanced skill because on the ECR, the students in third grade are expected to show text evidence with direct quotes or paraphrasing. And so they do need to be taught how to do quotation marks. So I surveyed everybody on Facebook. Lots of teachers responded. Thank you if you responded. And lots of you said, yes, put it in the book. Our kids need quotation marks. Our kids need complex sentences. They need to be writing with complex sentences. Even in TELPAS, to exit out of English in second grade, the rubric says uses complex sentences. So having the kids write sentences with because is something we should definitely teach. So that is why I added it into the book before Christmas break, complex sentences and quotation marks, as well as all the other editing TEKS. And then if you go on to the second semester, you're going to see third quarter, and I'm going to make these pacing guides for 9 weeks, 6 weeks, 5 days, and 4 days. So you can kind of adapt it to whatever your district does. But let's look at the third 9 weeks. We get into the revising skills based lessons. And then I planned it out where around week 24 or 25, right after you take those benchmarks, that is when you could get into the revising and editing workbook for the last 7 weeks before the STAAR test. You could start hitting the revising and editing spiral test prep. Okay, so let's look at how this book is different from the revising and editing workbook that you might be familiar with. That one could move into semester 2. This one, you're going to notice it has end punctuation, which is a review all the way back from kindergarten. But we have it, you'll notice it has a learn page, and that's kind of like the notes. It's always going to have sentence practice. That is what makes this book different from all my other books and from any book out there that I've seen is it has sentence practice. And this, in my opinion, is essential for getting students to really make the grammar stick. So not only are they adding on the question marks or periods, as in 1 through 3, when you get to sentences 4 and 5, they're having to write their own authentic sentences with the correct punctuation. And so the idea is the teacher is giving feedback on these sentences before they move on to the next part. And you'll see the next part is going to be a skills based social studies or science passage, and it is going to have just that one skill. So this one has 5 questions. They all have 5 questions. 5 questions where they have to decide, where does the end punctuation go in the passage about weather? Okay. Moving on to capitalization. So I put this in the order that I thought made the most sense to teach it in this order. I looked at several districts that I work with. I looked at their year at a glance. I looked at their pacing guides. And from that, I came up with this order. Okay. But you can make sure you follow your district curriculum. You can skip around in the book, but this is the order I put it in. So capitalization. The reason I put this, I always wanted my students to have a copy of the print alphabet and the cursive alphabet. That way they can go back to this page when they forget how to make a capital T. They can go back to this page and there is the example. So these are the notes or the learn pages about capitalization. And then you're going to see sentence practice. So first they're just finding mistakes with proper nouns, then they are writing their own sentences with capital letters. Then there's going to be an editing passage with just capitalization. So all answer choices A, B, C, and D are just on that one teak. It is not spiraling. It is not hitting multiple skills. It is one skill at a time. That is what makes this book different. It has 33 different skills. Now we're getting into common and proper nouns, kind of goes with capitalization. So I'm going to kind of flip through this and show you how it builds. It starts off at the beginning with a lot of the skills are review. And then in the second quarter, it's going to get more into new skills. So singular and plural nouns, sentence practice. Then you have the passage with just those questions, pronoun types. And you'll notice it always starts off easier with the sentences and then it gets harder. Gives them lots of mentor sentences as examples when they do their writing. Then it gets into verb tense. Now we're looking at the verbs. We're looking at the common irregular verb list. This book would be great for your ESL students. This book would be great for any students that are new to the country learning English. This would be great for your struggling readers. This would be great for your master's kids that do not remember or have never really been taught the grammar. So this book ensures that whether you're a new teacher or a veteran teacher, it has every single teak that you need to teach for grammar. So verb tense, it gets into the sentence practice, the editing practice. Now we're getting into subject verb agreement. We're writing sentences. The students have to put it into the past tense, present, and future tense. They have to make sure that they are doing the correct subject verb agreement. Lots of social studies and science integration. This is the part about comma in a series. with the sentence practice, and then commas and dates. This is not technically, commas and dates is more of a second grade skill, but I did put it in because I see a lot of students struggling with how to write the date. So I think we need to go back to the basics. So this has everything in it. So I want you to notice how this is not just multiple choice. This has a lot of strategies, a lot of anchor charts for the teacher to use this when they're teaching. And then the kids can have a copy of that reference page, kind of like the notes that you would glue in their notebook or they would write in their notebook. So prepositions, lots of sentence practice. Every single skill comes with sentence practice, a learn page, and that multiple choice passage where they're applying that skill. Okay, well, I hope you like the sneak peek. I don't want to make this video too long, but look forward to this coming. It's going to be coming out in this summer 2026. If you want to pre-order the book, I have a lot of districts pre-ordering. Send me an email, carlin@carlinlaborio.com, and I can let you know the pricing. I can send you a quote. And then as soon as this book is published, I can get it printed and sent to your school. All right. Bye. Thanks.